I've got a cup full of the spoons that I like to use. I'm going to tell you a little bit about each one of them. I'm also going to give you some tips for starting solids with your baby. My approach to introducing solids with babies is that it is child-led, that the goal is for your child to build skills, whether it be with utensils, with their hands picking up pieces of food, and we're looking for what your child enjoys. If your child loves eating with utensils, then follow that lead. If your child's not so interested in utensils, but they really like picking up pieces of food, then that's maybe where you're gonna spend a little more time. Okay, let's talk about the spoons. This one's the Munchkin silicone spoon. It's super soft. It's got a nice chunky handle for baby to hang on to. Some adults like to co-feed with their babies. So your baby has one spoon and they're putting it in their mouth and they're kind of figuring out how to do it. And the adult is also offering taste on another spoon. Some adults that do that like spoons with longer handles. It's your preference. This is another Munchkin option with a longer handle. Nice and chunky for little hands to hold. This tip is not as soft as the silicone, but still pretty soft. Num Num designed these utensils to support that independence that I'm talking about. We all know that sometimes babies are eating and they've got a scoop of food on a spoon, but they don't know they're supposed to keep it this way. And they turn it and all the food falls off before they get it to their mouth. So we might think that's not so successful. I actually think anytime a baby brings something to their mouth and they get a taste or they practice using a utensil is successful. These little guys have texture on both sides. They've got a flat bowl, so there's no right or wrong way to orient it. And this one's got a cutout. So the idea behind these is that it kind of hangs on to food a little bit better than a regular spoon would. It's a great design. They were one of the first to do this. Okay. Bumpkins also has a design like that with texture on one end, flat bowl, and then the other side has sort of your traditional spoon bowl on it. Dual purpose, baby can get different experiences with both ends. Thumbs up. The Easy Peasy Tiny Spoon also has a nice chunky little handle, a little bit of weight to it, really small bowl. They put these little dots here because they want to help babies know how far to put the spoon in their mouth. So let's talk about that for a second. When babies are learning to use utensils or really putting any objects in their mouths, they're experimenting with how far they put it in and what it feels like, right? How do I move the spoon so it's in just the right spot in my mouth? And at first they're going to put it too far back and they're going to gag themselves. This is not choking. This is part of this process. Your baby is not going to love that feeling and they're probably not going to want to keep doing it. What happens is over time, they just don't put it too far back. Some spoon designers have put things like these little bumps and like this little guard here to kind of help babies along in that process. So if you feel like your baby needs that, you might choose something like this, or Munchkin makes a version too. I'm not really convinced it's absolutely necessary because the process of motor learning just sort of happens over time. The Easy Peasy spoon is a great option regardless. This is another sort of small silicone spoon option by Cloud Island. No little bumps here, but same nice thick handle and soft bowl. My mentor, Marcia Dunn Klein, designed this. This is called the Duo Spoon. I think she was the first to do a double-ended spoon, and she kept the bowl flat and added some texture. The reason why texture on a spoon can be nice is because it helps babies get used to the feeling of texture in their mouth, even if you're using smooth foods. This is the Ola Baby Training Spoon. It comes in a set with a bigger spoon. This one's meant to be for the baby who's learning how to spoon feed, and this one's meant to be for the adult feeder. I think either one of you could use either one of these. They both have a super flexible tip, so when baby's at the stage where they're starting to scoop their own food, which is not right at the beginning, it flexes and picks up food maybe a little more easily than a firm bowl of a spoon would. What is the bottom line with all these spoons? There are so many options. They each have features that are good for slightly different things. Most babies are gonna figure it out no matter which spoon you buy, and there's even gonna be those babies that want nothing else but your spoon. So I wanna hear about your experiences with these spoons, or let me know if I've left something off the list. And if you wanna find a list of all of these, just comment spoon list and I'll help you out.